Well, it seems to be taking a bit of a lesson from Mr. Trump in the US, in that if you borrow a little bit more than you might have thought was responsible a good 5-10 years ago, markets might let you get away with it. But I don't think that applies to all parties in the UK. I think the Conservatives, the Lib Dems, mostly pro-growth parties could get away with a little bit of fiscal, let's say, nonsense. Labour, I don't think could get away with it. That would be a significant market event. But there is no magic money tree.
A significant market event. Would that tally with where you're thinking, or are you coming at it from a different angle?
No, I think most certainly the pledges that Labour have made are genuinely completely different to the other two parties, in the sense that the levels of spending that they seem to be pledging are way beyond what the Conservatives and Lib Dems have pledged. In addition to that, the type of tax increases that they are talking about within their manifesto are
You make a very key point. This isn't just about money spent from Labour's point of view. This is about changing society. Now, again, we can afford to be completely and utterly apolitical about this, and we can just point out the fact that what Mr. Corbyn is offering is a different vision of society. His main detractors will call it stunningly left-wing. They will call it a socialist. He will say it's about a fairer society as well. How does that tally, though, with what the electorate want from this election? Because, of course, it started off about Brexit. I think it's very quickly moved on to who can spend the most on society.
Yeah. So I think the interesting thing really here is when you look at, say, an increase in corporation tax to bring it back to about the 26%. The thing is that that type of increase, which, you know, will generally be touted within the public discourse by saying, well, you know, that will be the kind of big corporations and who will end up paying that. Ultimately, the people who generally tend to pick up that tax bill ends up being either the consumer through higher prices or the labor through actually lower wages. So it's not.
Why does John McDonnell not get what Gordon Brown did get, if that's the case? I'm talking about the current Shadow Chancellor as opposed to the man who was Shadow Chancellor. And actually, well, to be fair, Gordon Brown changed throughout his tenure from being talking about prudence every 2 minutes to actually spending quite a lot of money. But they got you keep voters on side by appearing to be fiscally responsible.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, obviously this is happening within the context of basically a lot of spending cuts and so on that have been going on in the kind of mid-noughties. And obviously within that context of austerity, it appeals a lot to the electorate to then go on to...
And I'm glad you brought up austerity, because I've got in front of me a UK current budget deficit chart. And it's a brilliant chart, and it goes back to 2005. And you mentioned the word austerity, first time we mentioned it today. We still overspent more money than we have, the more we had in income, by a significant margin for most of the last 14 years as well. We have to be very careful when we use the word austerity.
Well, we haven't balanced the books, but there has been a significant reduction in the footprint of the government over the economy. And just to bring this back to economics, what we're talking about here is the UK as a mid-Atlantic economy. It's a mixed economy that is oriented towards markets like the US is, but it has big public sector promises like a European economy, like the NHS. Under a Conservative government, you would keep that situation for the UK. Under Labour, you would remain a mixed economy, but the increase in the size of the state, the increased regulation, the increased state footprint would shift it not to a mid-Atlantic economy, but to a more continental economy. In economic terms, that would mean slower potential growth. Whereas the UK, like the US, can manage 2% year over year, but some of the continentals like France manage low ones. In a Corbyn government, that is what the UK would look like some 10 years from now.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.